Welcome to the Artist Notepad, where we explore artistry, life, and other things we know nothing about. I'm Jack.
And I'm David. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Tan and Chill with our main man, Eli Gomez. Woo! Today we're going to be discussing how all three of us ended up making music and meeting in the process. But first, Jack, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not bad at all. Went for a walk this morning, which was nice.
Nice walks.
Sunshine's quite nice. Getting a bit chilly down in Sydney.
Wholesome.
But yeah, you know, all things in perspective. Doing all right. What about you? How you going?
That's good, man. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Like, had a day where I legit didn't go out at all, and I think 90% of the time I was in my room, besides the time I needed some water and used the restroom. But yeah, life is okay. Life is good. And without any more things to really talk about in this COVID-19 situation, did you want to kind of go into the updates for the show?
Yeah, just a few things we got to run over. First of all, guys, just want to say big thank you for the support. Please go forth and tell your friends, tell your fam, spread the news about the Artist Notepad and share the love. You know, it's a bit of a negative time overall at the moment. So give people hopefully something positive to listen to, a bit of something they can chillax, especially on this episode, Tan and Chill episode. And don't forget to follow us if you already haven't at our Instagram at The Artist Notepad, on Facebook at The Artist Notepad, or facebook.com/The Artist Notepad, or send us an email at our email address artistnotepad@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys, hear any suggestions you have for the show, hear any feedback, anything like that. And David, last week we hinted at a little something, didn't we?
We sure did, mate. We sure did.
So last week, right at the end of the show, we talked about a potential little giveaway. And so I'm just going to expand on that a little bit. Guys, if you go and give us a 5-star and written review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, you'll go into the draw to win one of 5 handpicked prizes by David and I. And so for every 10 of these 5-star ratings and written reviews, we will announce a randomly selected winner. So you got a 1 in 10 chance to win a prize, but you've also got a 100% chance to receive a shout out because we will read your review on the show. So David, did you want to go through the prizes that we got on offer?
Yeah. The prizes that we have, Jack, right? Listen up. We got Funko Pops. Woo! So Funko Pops, aka Vinyl Pops, aka Bubblehead figurines. But they're quite cute little things. So from that, we have Tupac. We got Will Smith, Men in Black edition with the little doggo. We got Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter. We got Thanos. We have Baby Yoda, and you get to pick which one you want, and we'll be posting pictures of these guys on our Instagram. So go follow us at The Artist Notepad, and you can choose which one tickles your fancy.
Awesome. And David, when we were looking through these guys to pick which ones we thought would be good prizes, I, without even buying one yet, was already getting addicted. These guys are awesome. Like, when I first heard about them, I was like, oh, this is stupid, overpriced. Like, I'd never pay for this. And then when we actually came around to buying them, I was like, these are so cool.
I mean, I got quite into it as well. Yeah. I got quite into, like, I was looking at I was really, really wanting to get Where's Waldo.
We were like arguing. We were full on. We were getting really passionate about these guys.
So it was meant to take like 10-15 minutes max, but we were on the phone for like maybe hour and a half or something. We're like, no, we're not getting that one.
Where's Baby Yoda?
Yeah, but just saying that because like we put a lot of thought and effort into these cute little things that we have for our prizes. So yeah, rate us 5 stars and be in the draw to
win something that's maybe a little bit overpriced, but you guys get it for free. So
yeah,
hey,
just rate us 5 stars.
A win's a win. And yeah, just to reiterate, you get to pick whichever one you want when you win. So the Will Smith one does come with, Frank the cigar smoking puppy. So that's a pretty good deal.
It's the pug, right? It's
Yeah, it's a little pug. Yeah. So please, guys, give us a 5-star rating and leave a written review so we can get back to you guys and read it out on the show. But with that all out of the way, David, do you want to introduce who we're going to bring on?
I would love to. Like, he's a good friend of ours. He's doing some interesting things on Twitch these days, and he wears a nose ring, and he likes dangly earrings as well. Please give it up for Eli Gomez.
Hey, hello.
AKA Distill Music, AKA Halo Grim, AKA Times Divide, Multiply, Times Squared.
Yeah.
Do we miss any? Ellie, that's another one.
Yeah, that one.
Ellie, yeah. We call him Ellie, so guys, if you want to get close to Eli, just start emailing him and calling him Ellie.
Yeah.
He really
probably
likes
the most
that,
original joke there is out there right now. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, your face looking extra shiny there, buddy. Look like a vampire.
Eli's
there.
got the good lighting.
It's my lamp.
You got to have good lighting when you're recording a podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Guys, go to start this right off, like really important question here. What snacks are you guys having right now? I see you guys munching on stuff and sipping. What are we having today?
Guess first.
I've got crunchy eggs.
Crunchy eggs. It just sounds like you're having
crunchy, as in
you just having
the chocolate
no
eggs.
context.
Not just like eggs in their shells. So
Yeah. You're just eating raw egg.
And I've got some black spiced rum.
Bro, you have a lot of alcohol in the house, eh? What is that? It's called the Kraken.
Kraken, yeah.
It's gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
Drown you out.
Yeah. I actually haven't got a lot. It's literally just those two. The one that I had before and then this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about 6 bottles down for this video. Video?
Yeah.
Cool.
Doing quite well though. We sound quite good still.
Yeah. Well, that's all, matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could still go on the job interview or something like this. But Jack, what are you having, mate?
I've got, because I'm heaps intolerant of lactose, I'm eating a mango sorbet, like ice cream, but it's like frozen yogurt, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
it's
Can
yum.
you give us some deets? What is it like? It's just mango-y?
Look, it tastes a lot like mango. And it's cold.
It's cold for a cold day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. And with it, to wash it down, throwback to episode 2, I've returned to the fridge and I haven't bought any more beers. So I'm drinking a Pure Blonde ultra low carb lager. Just what you want.
Get that low carb. Yeah. Because you're not doing any like TikTok home workouts, are you, Jack? That's
No,
why you're
I'm not.
low
I'm
carb
not on the Tic Tacs myself.
Yeah, your Tic Tacs. Oh, what do you guys? Oh wait, yeah, I'll get it. I'll introduce my snack, and then I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm having these chocolate covered rice cakes or rice wafers thingies, but like they don't sound as appetizing, right? But these are fire.
Do you know what chocolate digestives are?
It's like that, but
They look like chocolate
rice cakes.
digestives, except bad.
Nah, these are fire, bro. I'll buy you some, and then you can have it. Yeah, these are
I don't
fire.
know. Rice crackers were always really just meh to me.
A digestive's good.
But
Yeah,
chocolate
man.
covered.
It's
Have you
such
had
a
chocolate
it's
covered,
such a
though?
weird name for a food.
I know,
Digestive.
right? Hey.
Just doesn't sound
It
appetizing.
sounds like a what do you call it? What do you call it? The one that makes you go to a laxative. Sounds like a laxative. That's what it sounds like. Like you want some digestives, man. You having
But I
trouble
think
going
that's
to the
what it's
bathroom?
meant. I think it's meant to help you poo. Like if you got diarrhea or something.
Is this going to be a thing that every episode we end up talking about poo somehow?
Yeah, it's a running theme now. Got to keep it up. If we have a poo counter, it's number 2 now. But and I'm sipping on some once again T2. Got some
Shout
red,
outs.
green, and dreamy, nice and fruity.
Look at
But
you.
yeah,
So
But
sophisticated.
the question I had, right, moving on. The question I had for you guys is, what do you reckon is like the top 5 categories that you have to be to get TikTok trending.
Mm.
Let Eli start, and then
Okay.
Category,
I'll have a
as in
think.
like
I'll have a
what
think.
kind of a
what kind of videos do you have to make to be TikTok famous?
I've seen a lot of those, like, not that I have TikTok, thank God.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, mate. With all those identities, you probably have one on Halo Grim.
But I've seen, like, from my friends watching it. I've seen
Yeah, your friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen those ones where people just like do voiceovers of like movie scenes or something, or like TV show scenes.
yeah.
There's that.
So like voiceovers? You're saying voiceovers?
They're just people acting out.
Oh no, like actovers?
Yeah, yeah, actors.
Or like, what do you call that? It's like yeah, I don't know. What's
like
that called?
lip syncing.
Like lip syncing.
Yeah.
Lip syncing. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actovers.
yeah.
It's a technical term. Yeah. So that's one.
Yeah.
Rapid fire them just off the top of your dome. Just go for it.
Like just dance ones. Like you just
Dance
you
ones.
just dance to some viral song. What else?
I've got my 5 now.
I don't even know. I think
I said rapid fire, and then you just
I
go
can't think
slower.
of any, man. I don't use TikTok.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
All right,
Is
give us
cooking
three.
one?
Give us one more.
Is cooking one?
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
Is
I
it?
don't know. I think it's. I don't know.
I think cooking.
Which
I
is
don't-
cooking
I don't
TikToks?
I don't know.
Are they
I don't
cooking
know.
TikToks? I don't have a TikTok account as well, but
Oh yeah, sure.
yeah,
It's funny how
It's
we're all
like
talking about
really
it and
big.
none of us have it.
it's because it's that big. I think one of us will break one day, and we're just gonna. One of us is gonna start a dance account. I'm just
Dance.
telling you. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Eli. It's gonna be.
I,
reckon
will,
it's Eli.
I don't think I'll ever start a dance
No,
account.
Eli would definitely do a voiceover one though.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
you mean act over?
The lip sync one. Sorry. Yeah. Actover,
Yeah.
my bad. Yeah.
Actovers, the actovers. You mean right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my 5. Okay. So I've written them down. I was having a quick think. So number 1, I'm going to go steal one of Eli's. Really good dancers. Viral.
Really good dancers.
Number 2, Sass Queens. All right.
Sass Queen.
Number 3, Yas Queens.
Yas Queen.
Num-
Okay.
Number 4, really funny / unfunny people. And number 5, over 18 girls who look like they're under 18 years old and they show a lot of skin. Oh, and they pull that face where you like cross your eyes and
Bruh.
stick your tongue out. What's it called?
I don't know what it's called.
That anime face, you know.
I don't know about what you're talking about.
No, I'm sure the
I
listeners
thought you were
know.
referring to OK Boomer Girl. But
But she's one of them. She's one of the, and I think she pulls that face as well.
does she make a face? Yeah.
Yeah, it's this stupid face that.
But
I don't know.
but can we backtrack just a little bit? And you were saying Yas Queen and Sass Queen.
Yeah.
I was thinking you're gonna go triple and say another queen, but you didn't. What
No.
do you mean by Yas Queen and Sass Queen? Am I the only one who doesn't know? Eli, do you know what that means?
I think I have an idea, but I don't know.
If I go into detail, I'm gonna end up offending someone. So let's
Yeah,
just
okay.
move
Okay.
on.
Fair
Alright,
enough.
maybe you can email Jack and then he can let you know what that's about.
I'll
But,
tell you whether or not you are a Yas or a Sass Queen.
Am I a Yas Queen?
You're closer to a Yas Queen than a Sass Queen, I think.
Okay. Tell me after the show. I'm actually quite curious.
What about me?
You're a Sass Queen.
Ah, okay, I think that's.
I think I'm more of a sass queen
I'm
as
pretty
well.
sure that's better. From guessing.
Because what I imagine is like, yes. And then
Yeah.
Sass is like more like hands like
Yeah, you
this.
got it. You got it already.
Is that right? Oh, wow.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's get to what the topic we're actually going to talk about. And so today, as David eloquently said earlier on, we're going to be discussing how all 3 of us ended up somehow making music, and we all ended up meeting because of music. So we haven't really thought about it too much
Yeah.
because we want it to be quite natural. But does anyone want to go first? I feel like, David, you'd be a good person to kick this off in terms of your story, where it all began.
Oh, yeah.
And a brief story of how it started and how you got to where you are now.
Okay. make it really brief, because like the first thought I had was like, because we were just talking about like how we met like 3 years ago, and then like our ensemble at AIM was like, yeah, we're just doing like raps. I was doing raps. Like, I was really into rap 3 years ago, and then Jack was like a little baby. He wasn't wearing glasses and he had longer hair and stuff. But that's what I was thinking. But maybe if I'm thinking about how it started.
Yeah, go from the start. Like, don't go on forever,
Yeah.
but like you don't need to cover
I'll
it
try
in
to
1
keep
minute.
it short. Yeah, I'll try to keep it short. So I actually started with like poetry. So I was never into the like English subject in high school, but I would write poems, and even for like presentations and stuff, I'll do poems. And what's it called? So from poems, it went to writing hip hop songs, and that was like with like a lot of people around the Strathfield area. This was when back when my mates had a group called AUG. It's like Oriat now, and then they went to Oriat Gang, and now they're called. It's only 3 people, and it's called Ugly Goblins. But shout out to Ugly Goblins, still out there making music. Yeah, and then came to 2016, and then I graduated high school 2015, and then I thought, yeah, I'm gonna go a bit further into music. And before I got into AIM, I was thinking, do I go more performance based, or am I gonna go like audio, and then I just help my mates make this song sound good? And then that was the dilemma. I was like, do I do this or this? And then at the end, I just decided to go with audio. And when I joined the audio course, that's where I met my good friends Eli and Jack. Woo!
Hello.
Yeah, that's why we're like doing this podcast now. We know about the sound and microphones and stuff, so
Yeah.
we all got a mic set up at home. And
So, David, I just got one question for you. What's
Yeah.
a sound?
he's referring to the question I asked another AIM guy. Shout out to Matt Gambino, audio engineer. Yeah,
Matt
What's
was
the
doing
sound?
this real serious like
Yeah.
Q&A on Instagram, being like, guys, ask me questions and I help you out, and being really helpful with people wanting to learn more about sound. And then David just
Yeah.
comes in with, what's a sound?
Yeah, because he was full answering people and being like, oh, like questions were like, what's a good monitor? What's good headphones? Blah, blah, blah. And then my question was like the 5th one. And I just said, what's a sound? And then-
Why?
and he actually answered me. What a top bloke. Shout out to Gambino.
Oh, he actually like
If you're
answered you
listening, you're a
seriously.
real one. But yeah, he was like quite serious, like full answering very seriously, detailed answers. I use these plugins. I use these monitors, blah, blah. But yeah, that's me in like a nutshell.
Where
Is that
are
the
you
term?
now? Where are you now, David? Or do you want to talk about that at the end, maybe? Yeah, because I think we can all talk about that a bit longer.
Yeah, like a brief background, and then we can kind of build off each other, I guess. But that's me. Yeah.
So I don't know. I've always had an interest in music. So like since when I can remember, I don't remember exactly when it started or where it came from or how it came about. I just have an interest in music. I always have. My start with making music probably came around when I used to write raps, and I mean they were terrible raps, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I always wanted to, like, as a kid I always imagined being a rapper, which I am not a rapper now. So
But I'm not a rapper.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, that's it pretty much.
I remember when we met Eli for the first time at AIM, and David and I were like, we'd already like knew each other for a couple of days at this point. So we're best mates, No. But we just walked in, and Eli just comes in, and he's like this super serious guy, and like super tall, and like I don't know about you, David, but I was a little intimidated. I was like, oh, this guy,
Really?
he looks
Wow.
like a hard guy, not someone I really want to mess with. And then after the class, because he barely said anything, I thought, you know what, let me try and be a nice guy. And so I sort of just like, hey man, so like, what do you do? And then he's just like, oh, I do audio or something like that. I was just like stupid.
After a audio class,
I don't know, like, But yeah, after
do
like for
audio.
the next week, we started talking a bit more, and David, and Eli, and another guy who was in our tutorial, Nathaniel. Shout out to Nathaniel. We
Yeah.
yeah, we got close. It was a really good class. It was probably one of my favorite classes the whole time I was at AIM.
Aw.
Yeah, so just shout out. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Bunsen burner diagram discerner as well.
Yeah.
Don't start.
I haven't yet.
Bunsen burner, diagram discerner.
Hey, you're starting. Don't start, bro.
Mix preserver. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah.
I started music. I started writing when I was probably about 8 years old, which is super young, but like my songs weren't good, but I just really loved. I love
8
music.
years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started writing my first songs when I was about 8. Quite bad.
Do you remember the first lines?
Nah, I mean, it was all lyrics and no like backing music. And then, because I couldn't play any instruments, and then like I wanted to learn an instrument, so I really wanted to learn guitar really badly. And so eventually, my parents, they thought it would just be like a phase thing, so they bought me this really bad guitar, or maybe they bought it for my brother. I can't remember. I ended up with it. And so what I did was I actually carved numbers into the frets, in between the frets. And then I started writing on paper, like so I could remember the melodies, like the number of the fret and the string. And like years later, I'd find out that this was actually a thing called tab. And it's actually a thing. And I like made it up in my own world. And I was just like, oh, it's so cool. And I could read it straight away because that's how I used to write down my guitar. Yeah. At least very simple tab. I wasn't very good when it got to the more complex tab. But yeah, so I started writing when I was quite young, and eventually I started having guitar lessons, so I got a bit better at guitar, and then I became very like singer-songwriter-y because that was kind of all guitar and voice enabled me to do.
Started getting longer.
No, that didn't happen until after I left school.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, by the time I was like 18, I'd already written like hundreds of songs, most of them bad, but there were some ones that I was happy with in there. And then
Shout out Johnny.
no, Johnny was later actually. Words was when I was like 14 when I wrote Words, or 15, which was a single
really?
that
14 when you wrote Words.
yeah.
To be honest, I like Words better than Johnny.
Yeah, I prefer it, but most people prefer Johnny. Anyway, enough about my music. When I went to study audio as well, and I was tossing up, like similar to David, I was tossing up whether to do performance or to do composition or to do audio, and I ended up doing audio simply because I knew nothing about audio. So I thought, look, I can already do a bit of performance, I can already do a bit of composition, let's do something that I know nothing about. And so I chose to do audio, and I ended up loving it to the point where it became like my primary form of music work for probably 2 out of the 3 years that I was at uni. And yeah, then I started taking more and more seriously and got a lot better at it to the point where I was eventually catching up with everyone else in the cohort, because I started with no audio knowledge, and pretty much everyone else in that class, I'm sure you guys remember, there were people in there who'd already been working with audio for a while, and it was pretty intimidating.
Like they had a big background in it.
Yeah, and so like I remember the first like few months, or maybe not months, first few weeks of class, like literally, they would just be talking with assumed knowledge. So they'd be chucking things out like, oh yeah, so when you're in your DAW and you're doing like compression and EQ, and I'd be like, I don't know what any of those things are. And so I was just madly Googling and typing while we were in the lecture. Just every like few sentences, there'd be a word, like a piece of jargon that I didn't know. And so I'd just Google that and be like, okay, so that's what that is. And then eventually,
Now look at you, huh? Now look at you.
Look, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like it took me a long time to catch up before I was even like an equal with most of the people in the class. So it was really rewarding in that sense, I guess, coming as like one of the people like quite behind in the degree to one of the few of that cohort who's actually finished now, because a lot of them are still there. So that was cool.
I'm still there. I'll be done this year, but
yeah,
man.
It's like it's got nothing to do with skill really. It's just a little achievement that I allow myself to have. I don't grant myself many achievements, but I'll have that one.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about this while we were like briefly sharing just then, but do you guys remember like what one of the first songs you guys kind of wrote, or like what kind of sound it had, and like how did it feel, and like what it was about, kind of thing? Do you guys remember that? Or?
Yeah, so the kind of sound it had was bad.
Facts.
real basic, real cringy, real four chordy.
What chords? What did you play?
Probably would have been
Play
like
right now. Play right now.
I don't remember it. Probably would have been like G, E minor, C, D. I'm guessing. Let's see
course.
what that sounds like.
Classic.
Let's see what that sounds like.
Play it. Oh, classic. I'm Jack Sherlock.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sick.
Probably would have
Yeah.
been about like a, I don't know, how beautiful a girl was, or something like that.
What about you, Eli? Do you remember what?
I don't remember the first songs, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I wish I didn't really.
Really?
I kind of remember like, I guess the subject maybe. Oh, did I know the subject? I don't know. I don't know.
So
I just remember.
You so remember.
I just remember it's terrible, man. I just don't want to talk about it.
Did I tell you guys this? But I used to play a lot more guitar when I was younger as well. So my first ever song that I got involved in, like the first time I ever even got into like a recording environment situation, was in E10 or E9, I think. This was like back when I was in a Christian private school. Shout out to Tyndale for expelling me. And,
I thought you were gonna
Really
be
good
like,
and
oh
bad
yeah,
memories.
shout out for the education and
For
the
like raising me and making me the man I am. I guess I kind of
like,
did.
seriously, I am here today because of what I've done
Yeah,
in the past.
true.
But
True.
yeah. But I remember the first song that I ever did. It was, I didn't write the lyrics to it, but I remember I did the chords for it. But it's very similar to you, but I don't even know what the chords are called. I just know how they sound. And then yeah, I remember it was sick. It was just so cool going to like a recording studio. Then you get an Asian kid he's like 15 years old, and they're like, can you play these chords? And you're like, oh, okay, I'm like full nervous. Bang, bang, bang. But it was a good experience, I think. Did you ever, when was the first time you guys, see how you said you had like a rapping kind of background, Eli? Or like that's how you want, rap track background,
Yeah.
like started?
yeah.
When was the first rap or rhymes you wrote?
Oh, like what age?
Yeah. Like, do you remember it? If you do, you have to spit it right now.
I don't remember the rap. I don't remember any raps, and I'm glad about that because I just remember them being really bad.
Oh yeah.
I would have been maybe like 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there.
No way. You wrote it when you were like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's why it was bad.
That's crazy. I started learning chopsticks at like 6, 7.
Chopsticks.
Yeah.
Wait,
I was a
are you
late
talking
bloomer.
about? Are you talking about the song or the actual chopsticks?
Actual chopsticks, like actual. I used forks until.
I thought you meant I thought you meant the song.
No, like actual chopsticks to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to write a bit of rap as well, and it like even if I wasn't a good rapper, but I got all right at writing it.
You
And
look like you're a good rapper. You look like what's his name?
Logic.
they
right
say I
now.
look like Logic, but I don't. I'm just white
You do.
and have glasses and not much hair. So
Let's
I guess that makes me
the
Logic.
thumbnail is gonna be Logic, a face of Logic. But anyways, yeah.
And what I will say, just a little tip for singer-songwriters out there, or just writers in general who don't do rap. Write some rap, because it will make you a better lyricist. Because
You reckon?
yes, rappers have to write a lot more lyrical content. So you're basically going to be pumping out a lot more lyrics. And I think it makes you a better. I think I became a better lyricist after I started writing raps. So and it helps you come up with different flows, even if it's not in a rap context. It's just in a whatever singing context. It helps you with your rhythm as well as your melody. You know, so definitely like
Sure.
try some of that. Just try like go onto chill hop
Bunsen burner.
radio and just write a rap.
Yeah.
And
Is that how
it'll
you
help.
started? Did you go on chill hop and you just
No,
started?
the first rap I wrote, like I was super young as well. I probably would have been like 10 years old, and I just
Damn.
yeah.
You guys started like crazy early.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that, I mean, kind of drifting into where we're going to go with the conversation, I think that that's sort of what led to me burning out a little bit was because I started so young. It got to the point where I was just spent, you know. I was just like, I've written so much and the passion was starting to fade. And we'll reach the point where I am now where I struggle to get passionate about writing music at all. And
Right.
so I still work as an audio engineer. I did like 3 mixes this weekend, and that's more than I've done for a while because things have been a bit quiet. This whole year, I don't know why things have just been a bit quiet. I think a lot of people did a lot of work last year, and so the clients that I worked with last year, they're all in like release mode now, so none of them are really sending me much stuff.
They were just chilling now.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's strange, you know. Some people I see and they don't have that problem at all. With me, I think I've hit a little bit of a writer's block in a sense, and I guess I'm just waiting until it feels right for me to start writing again. I don't want to force it. I've written a bits and pieces here and there, but like, yeah, the passion has faded a little bit, and I reckon that has something to do with the fact that I've just been working really hard on writing music for like the last 15 years, I guess. Like,
Far out, yeah.
okay, not 15 years. Maybe like 10 years, I guess.
Damn.
Bit longer than 10, but yeah, 12 years. We'll go 12 years. Doesn't
12
really matter.
12 and a
Just
half.
a long time.
12 and a half.
So where are you guys at now? We've talked about like our roots.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at now with your music?
Eli, you want to go?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Now, I don't know. There's a lot of places I'm at. So
You're at home.
Yeah. I think. I don't know. I'm just trying to get stuff happening, like actually releasing stuff, because I feel like I've been doing like a lot of stuff all over the place, but never finishing anything. And I'm just trying to finish stuff. And I've made kind of a plan for this year, for some releases. Although I did that last year, but last year I just kind of overkilled it and just gave myself too much work, so it didn't work out. So this year I'm chilling a bit and taking it a bit more easy, so that I can actually
Can you give us
finish some stuff.
Yeah. Can you give us some like sneak peeks into what might come soon, if there's anything dropping soon?
Yeah, there's something supposed to be dropping. I'm just gonna say it will drop in, so that it actually does. In May, I forgot the actual date. I think it was like 11th or something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's almost my
11th or
birthday.
something.
Oh, is
May
it?
11. Aren't you May 10?
Yeah, you should drop on my birthday, bro. That'll be sick.
Let's see the date. Oh, okay. May 19th was the actual date.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry
Fine.
to
Bumped up.
disappoint.
Do you reckon he just changed it?
Yeah, he for sure just changed it.
He just added another 9 days.
Yeah, so that's the first release. I got a few more after that. But
Oh, did I say May? Yeah, I meant November.
What's that gonna be though? Is that like is that gonna be just a instrumental, or is this more
Yeah.
like you got?
Yeah, this is gonna be just an instrumental. This is gonna be more my electronic stuff.
Halo
Sick.
Grim.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
He's getting ready to start performing at clubs and stuff once this COVID's finished.
Yeah.
It's building that up.
Got yourself a little bit of equipment, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I actually got it for my birthday. I wasn't even planning on getting it, but yeah, it's actually some fun
Sick.
stuff. DJing.
What do you have? What do you have with
It's
you?
a DJ controller. Turntables are different. Turntables are actual.
The chick. That's a turntable, right?
Yeah, those ones here.
Oh, I didn't know you had a turntable, David.
I do.
Oh,
Do you wanna
wait,
hear
was
it
that
again?
just your mouth? Because I legit thought that was a real turntable.
No, that was an actual turntable, man.
Oh, wow.
It sounds really good, man. You should add that into your tracks, I reckon. Definitely.
What are you
DJ
talking
Chun.
They used to call me that in my old workplace because I've made all the playlists. But anyways, for me, it's progressed a lot. It used to be like very very inspired by like what I started with, and that was kind of like Tupac, Wu-Tang, Ice Cube, Kendrick, and then it all kind of mixed together. And then it used to start with like trying to talk about Strathfield.
Oh man, there's a good track that David released on Sound. Is it still there on SoundCloud?
Are you talking about walking around Strathfield?
It's called Sunny.
Oh, that's
Sunny.
So check that out. Yeah, I made that ages ago, but ended up recording it later.
Is
Shout
it
out
still
to
there?
Roshan. He was my engineer.
True, shout out.
Bro.
Yeah, but it's still up there.
Guys, go to David's SoundCloud and check out Sunny. It is a good track.
It is. Bro, I wish
man.
you released it like for real. Like,
Yeah.
bro, do it.
It was a fun track. It was like a feel good, like, yeah. But it started somewhere like there, and then it progressed more to like conscious rap, and then this was when like I was starting to take my faith a bit more serious. There was always little dribbles of like faith talk and stuff like here and there in my lyrics, and then yeah, I think like when you guys started, like when I started knowing you guys, that's when like faith music started to grow a lot more and more. So music changed direction from stuff that made me look good or like make people look at me to like becoming like an instrument for me to point people to look at God. And that's what I kind of wanted to do. And then I think that got more and more solidified. So it used to be, I used to say like, oh, I rap and I make hip hop music. But now it's like, I like to say that I like to make like alternative, like gospel music. Alternative, not because it's like heretical and like, I'm a cult music, but it's more like, the sound is more new school. Sound is more like my style. Yeah. So if you want to check out like what I'm like, what's closer to what I want to start making, or if I do continue, it's the latest track is called "Holding Me Down." But yeah, check that out on SoundCloud. That's
track.
got the most love. People like that song, I think.
I think it's
like
because
other stuff.
I think it's because of the master on the track actually.
Yeah, thanks again, bro.
Whoever
Jack
did the
mastered
master on that track
yeah.
like really nailed that. Yeah.
He low-key told me how hard it was to master. 'Cause he messaged me and he's just like, hey bro, this is the most work I've done on the
Don't
mastering."
worry. I had a more in-depth one with someone who we're probably going to be getting on the show soon. So I'll save that story
yeah?
till then.
Ooh, okay.
So Eli, we've sort of shared with our audience a little bit what inspired us, which artists like really motivated us, and we took bits and pieces from their music.
Yeah.
Which artists are the ones that really drove you forward and inspired you to make music in terms of just taking ideas, taking sounds, taking like lyrics maybe? Like which were the artists that really like pushed you forward to continue making music?
I think the first one would have been Skrillex. I discovered him in like, my mate showed me him in like 2010 or something. And
What was your response like when you first heard
bro,
it?
I loved it. It was something so different.
Really?
Yeah, and hearing something different in the way that he did, in the way that he produced these tracks was pretty crazy, and it was kind of eye-opening to a different form of music to me. And
Yeah.
just hearing sounds that I hadn't heard before to be in a song, it's kind of weird. But yeah.
What's
very cool.
some examples? Can you show us with your
what? Pretty much his first album or EP or whatever.
Yeah.
Not his first one, but his first like big one, which was Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. I don't know if you guys remember, it was actually pretty big at some point. Yeah. That's a good EP. So next person would be a guy called Savant. which
a
he
vibe.
showed me. He
Yeah.
showed me like the a more perspective kind of thing, like side of music, where like instead of like having to follow like structure or whatever, like oh this has got to go there, and this has got to be the build up, and the build up's got to be this long, and then the drop has to happen, and then the whatever, you know. He was
Right.
instead of like thinking about it in that way, he taught me how to kind of feel where to go next in a track, you know, instead of thinking like
Yeah, so to create by feel and not by like you have to be this type of structure
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
a good
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that was really important for me in the way I look at music and stuff.
Yeah.
Next one probably was a guy called Cry Wolf, and he really
Cry Wolf.
he really opened my eyes and my ears to more
Yeah.
like sensitive music that really just kind of hits you hard and like emotionally, and he
Yeah.
kind of really got me into that. And it was weird because I never thought I'd be into that given what I had been into before that. I just
Yeah.
never imagined myself doing that kind of music.
Man, I miss that kind of stuff that you were making for a while. Like,
Yeah.
really, really cool, really atmospheric, really emotional type of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. And he
That was under the name Ellie, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you have to do? I just typed in Cry Wolf, but then like it's showing me like a horror film. But anyways, that's a
Oh
sidetrack.
yeah.
What Eli needs to do is he has his vocals, man. Have you heard his vocal stuff?
He can sing
Yeah,
too.
I gotta work on
He does
that.
this like airy falsetto thingy, and then he places his effects in a way where it blends with that atmospheric stuff that you were
And
just talking about.
it sounds like strained, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
I know that kind of sounds like an insult, but it's not at all. It sounds like strained
Yeah.
in a like, it's hard to sing
Hey,
what
show
he's
us
singing.
give us
yeah,
a
I get what you
acapella
mean.
right now.
Yeah,
Give us
nah,
a
I'd rather not.
acapella.
I'd rather
Yeah, come on, right now.
Do it right now.
Alright, I'll give you one.
Just
Ready?
yeah.
So, yeah, his influence was
See what I mean, guys? Like,
You guys just need to encourage him. Send him some emails and DMs, and then
Yeah.
he'll do it.
yeah. And yeah, it's weird because I never imagined myself making that kind of music, but then nowadays it's kind of what I'm most focused on, and it's the music that means the most to me, out of all the music that I do. So,
Cool.
yeah.
do you think that's because of its like intimate nature?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I didn't know what you meant for a second, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What did you say? Intimate nature?
Yeah. I mean, like because it's so emotional in its like sound. I was just asking Eli
Right.
whether that's why it has more of a significant meaning to him.
Yeah. Also the sound as well, like not just that. It's making a certain kind of sound. And like, because for example, when I listened to Cry Wolf's first album, it really like, I really liked that it took me to like somewhere different. Like it was like a whole, it like takes you to a different place, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like that about his music. And I really look out for that kind of music nowadays as well. That it just makes me feel really different, whether good or bad kind of thing. It's just something new, you know?
Yeah, I think whether like what it doesn't matter what emotion it is, if a piece of music is created that manages to really tap into a particular emotion, I think that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a way of connecting with the listener.
Yes.
But
And I know a lot of people
um,
don't like sad music because it's sad and they don't want to feel sad, but it's just like, to me, like, and I don't listen to sad music very often, but to me, like, sometimes, like, when it connects with me on that level, that's, like, important that it's doing that. And it's like, you know, music is more than just sound. It's a form of expression. It's a form of art, and it's supposed to make us feel things.
Yeah.
I feel like sad music is more popular, isn't it? Negative stuff.
I think it is with some people, and then with others,
Yeah.
they're just like, I don't want to be sad. I just want to party.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Actually,
They just want bops.
it was
Like,
Yeah.
It was kind of weird because
Speaking of bops, have you guys seen the baby's bop? Fuck.
Okay, back to what Eli was saying.
The baby's bop is crazy. The music video. Sorry, yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn, what was I saying?
David.
Oh yeah. No,
bad.
I was saying it was kind of because we were talking about sad music, and I was like, it's kind of weird because after listening to that and after being open up to that kind of music, it was kind of weird going back to happy music because you're like, oh, it doesn't have that emotional side. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
It's funny because to me, like, there's a lot of music out there which can make you feel sad as well as happy, but there's not that many music. Not that many music. Not much music that can make you feel happy as well as sad, if that makes sense. So, like, if the primary feeling is sad, I feel like a lot of that music can also make you feel happy if you're in the right space. But there's not much, like, happy music which can just make you feel sad without there being, like, some kind of context to it, like, you knew someone and that song reminds you of them or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you mean that in like the actual meaning of the song or more?
No. So
like
there's this track. There's this track called Ribs by Lord, and this is from Lord's first album, and I really like this track. You guys should definitely check it out. It's real like low, and I can't really describe it. It's just like I can't really describe it, but it's nothing like
So
a
it's
lot
called
of the
Ribs?
stuff you
I'll check it out.
Ribs.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the stuff you normally hear from Lord.
Yeah.
And that song had the power to just increase whatever emotion I was feeling. If I was in a really good place, it would just make me feel so good. And if I was in a bad place, it would really bring me down. And if I was in like a confused space, it would make me think. And like, it was just whatever I was feeling, it would just enhance what I was feeling. And I used to listen to it all the time, especially before sleeping.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, just fun little story there.
Yeah. Actually, something I've been doing lately, I've been like sorting my music. So every month I create a new playlist, which is just basically, it's just the music I'm listening to now. So I have I have a playlist called Now, and then I have a bunch of other playlists just assigned to different months. So like August 2019, and then blah, 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 blah.
That's cool.
And then like, it's
like a musical diary.
Yeah. And
sick.
And it's so good, like just like now, if I go back to like last year, it'll remind me, like it'll like bring back so many emotions, and
that's a cool idea.
It's so weird and so cool, and I love doing it, and I think it's a good idea for people to do that in general, because
maybe I should do that too. That's a good
definitely
idea. Like,
it's also
actually,
it's a good idea for people right now, I reckon, with everything that's happening right now. It's a cool little thing to do to sort of track where you are. And on that topic, just to start wrapping it up, Eli, I was just going to ask, do you have anything that you could recommend? Maybe not the average Joe, maybe the average Joe, but also just producers and writers at the moment. Do you got any activities or writing exercises that you can think of just to recommend to people to help fill their time and also exercise their skills?
It depends what you are, I guess. I think for producers, I think for any art, really, the worst thing you can do is stop. Like, at first when I heard someone say that, I was like, oh, it's kind of weird, because some people like to take breaks and like, you know, so they can get in the right, like in a different headspace or whatever the reason might be. But I've really experienced lately that if I stop, it like kind of takes me back. Like I lose momentum. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so I think if you do something like every day, it's really good. Because like the thing is, like, for example, I've experienced a lot where if I stop, it takes me a while to get back into it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. But if I just do it, like I always find myself wanting to come back the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. And every day, like for example, with producing, every day my tracks get better in one way or another. So
right.
I think, and there was actually something someone says about this. It was basically, it says that a muse will find you, but it has to find you working. So in other words, like if you're not like nothing's gonna happen if you're not doing something.
Yeah.
Nice.
And There was another thing actually I learned from. Sorry, it's same topic, same.
Truth bombs, one after the other. Come on.
Yeah. When I was listening to Cry Wolf, like he actually posted these videos of him making that album that I first listened to, and what he did, he went to Iceland and he just stayed in a house by himself, away from like kilometers away from a single person. Like it's just some isolated house in the middle of friggin' nowhere in Iceland, and he said, "Oh yeah, I like dedicated myself to making one track a day," and he's like, "Well, like." On the first few days, the songs were kind of bland and blah, 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 and they were just kind of crappy. But like after a few days, that's when like real good songs started coming up, and those are the songs that went into his album and stuff like that. So I think consistency is a very big thing when you're an artist. I think in any type of art. So
Thanks, man. That's some awesome advice.
Thank you for your wise words.
yeah.
Well, guys, you heard it here first. Artists out there, doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't even have to be music. It can just be, it could be visual arts. It could be, maybe you're writing a book. Maybe you're writing poetry. Maybe whatever it is, guys. Like, don't stop. Just keep going. Especially now where a lot of us have more time than we normally do. Just keep writing. Keep painting.
going.
Keep drawing. Just keep going. Yeah.
Go get it. Go get him, Tiger. As
Yes.
my uncle Billy would say back in the day.
Lovely. So thanks
That's a
again,
good way
Eli.
to end.
Thanks so
no
much for
worries.
coming back.
Thank you.
for
Thanks
another
coming,
chat.
mate.
Thank you. for
Definitely
having
the
me.
first time, first try.
Oh, yeah,
for
of course. Have we done this before? I don't know.
It's a bit of
Never
deja
done
vu
this
happening
before.
right
Such
now.
a new experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just to wrap up then, where can they find your stuff?
Right now, mainly they can find me on BeatStars. I'm selling beats.
BeatStars.
Yeah, I'm selling beats.
What do they find you under on BeatStars?
Distill.
Yeah.
Distil. I have a red logo that says Distill.
Cool. Any socials you want to shout out?
Instagram. That's pretty much the main one I use, to be honest. It's just Instagram. Distill. It's just under Distill Music. I think music has 2 C's, if I remember.
Good.
We will chuck your socials in the description. So guys, if you're listening right now and you're looking for the Instagram, we'll chuck it down in the description. We'll chuck the link to where you can find Eli's beats as well.
Yeah.
Eli, thanks
Eli
again for
Beats.
coming on.
Thank you for having me.
David, you got anything to say to wrap it up?
No man, thanks for listening. If you reached this far, you're a real one. Shout out to you. We'll catch you next episode.
Absolutely. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.